just found out about the snow. I had no idea. I had no idea. So now I have a lot of anxiety. I'm like, oh my God, how much toilet paper do we have in the house? And my husband's here also. I think he needs to leave. Joe, leave, please. Go to the store. Make sure we have enough toilet paper. This is not good. So are people actually on dates tonight here? Yeah. Okay. All right. That's awesome. That's awesome. When I came up, I was seeing a lot of long tables. I'm like, oh, these are some pretty kinky dates. This is exciting. I don't know. I don't do that anymore. I'm older. I'm going to be the oldest comic you're going to see tonight. I turned 50. Thank you. 8 years ago. So, yeah. I'm starting to feel comfortable with my age. I'm trying to come to terms with it. I'm staying out of light that's less flattering for me. Like halogen lights and fluorescent lights, but mainly daylight. That's what I'm working on. But being a woman in her late 50s, it's not all bad. There are some good things about it. The birth control options, for example, very good, excellent. I'm currently using the I'm all out of eggs method of birth control. I highly recommend it. It's 100% effective. It works. But I am married. I've been married for 25 years. Or everyone, I did hear the other people are married. Yay. So 25 years, it's a long time. So, my husband and I, we were trying to do something to spice up our marriage. We decided to add a woman to our relationship. Yeah. She's a marriage counselor. Yeah, it's good. I don't know. I'm not all that happy with how things are going with our sessions. I feel like she really seems to take my husband's side a lot. For example, like with him, she's always like, you need to engage in active listening and you need to express your needs more clearly. And with me, she's always like, you need to stop being such a fucking cunt. But I am working on it. I am working on that aspect of my personality. I'm trying to communicate more with my husband. I feel like we don't communicate as much as we used to. I don't know, do people feel like that as you're longer in your relationships? And I feel like it's my fault. It's my fault because when I was younger, I always wanted to know what my husband was thinking. But now that I'm older, I know that it's never anything good. Never. But I'm also trying to participate in some of my husband's hobbies. We went bowling together recently. That was exciting. And it turns out my husband is a really good bowler. I had absolutely no idea. He was the best one in the whole group, and I don't know, I got a little turned on by it, I've got to tell you. I have to admit, I had no idea bowling could be that sexy. And when we got home, I was like, it's a shame that we're married, because if we were not married, I would totally have sex with you tonight. So, it's fun. We live in Virginia. Anyone from Virginia? Anyone Virginians here? Yeah, very good. We have a son. And I really feel for people trying to raise kids in the DMV. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's very competitive. All the kids, we had to actually pull our son out of the public schools in Arlington. That's where we live. He just wasn't gifted enough to cut it in the Arlington public schools. It's hard. All the kids, they're very gifted. Ask any parent. They will tell you. Our son is also quirky. That's a suburban term for gay. Yeah. I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. It's totally fine to be a gay kid in Arlington, Virginia public schools, just as long as nobody finds out about it. It's okay. But our son came out when he was 13, and I can't say that it was surprising to us. Even when he was very, very little, he always just loved brunch. So we had an idea. But we sent our son to this great private school in DC, and it's like super liberal, and you can just be whoever you are. So it was really great for him. He actually said to us once, there is a girl in my class that identifies as a Karen, and nobody is allowed to bully her, no matter how much she complains. It was that kind of a school. It was so great. But our son is in college now, which is really exciting for us because he was not a great student. So we were nervous that he was even going to get into a college, because we had heard colleges, admissions are so competitive. But it turns out that's only if you want your kid to go to a college that people have heard of. If you're willing to send your kid to a school that nobody's heard of, it turns out there are a lot of them. And they are quite willing to take your money. It's amazing. But I loved visiting colleges with my son. It was so much fun. It was great to see how things have changed so much since I went to college in the 1980s, such a long time ago. The campuses are just so beautiful now, and I think that's really important. I want to know that when my son drinks too much and pukes all over a shrub, that shrub was just beautifully manicured before he totally ruined it. It's good. The other day, my son was like, Mom, all of my friends in college, all of my female friends are bisexual. And that was interesting. That's very different than when I went to college in the 80s. And I don't know, I'm kind of a little jealous. I feel like I missed out on that. I'm not really into women, but I really love hedging my bets. We're trying to figure out where we want to go on vacation this summer. I don't know, it's so cold out, it's fun to plan trips. A few years ago, my husband and I, we went to Amsterdam, and that was so much fun. And we went to see a live sex show when we were there, and that was my idea. I wanted to go for my birthday. And my husband was totally into it until he found out that we were talking to some people, and they were like, the performers in these shows are often married, yeah. And then he was like, ew, that's disgusting. I don't want to see married people have sex. And I'm like, I don't get it. What's the problem? Is your dick I can't get hard? These people are in a loving, committed relationship. The horrors of that. How can you get turned on when people are married? It's true. But I don't think he had to worry about it. We did go see the show, and I really don't think those people were married. They seem to really, really enjoy the sex. So, yeah. I recently went to visit a bunch of relatives over the holidays. Did anyone visit relatives? Yeah, it's good. People have a good holiday. Yeah. So none of my relatives are happy, which is, they are Jewish, so it's understandable. But they're also Democrats. I think that's part of it. like, I'm not into sports at all, but it seems like being a Democrat these days, it's like the closest thing to being a New York Jets fan. It's just like so much losing, just so much losing. But I thought my relatives would at least be excited. They're from New York, about the new mayor of New York, Mondami. Yeah, right, yes, he's charismatic and he's young, but they were not. They were not, no. They're Jewish, so I think they used the word, they said that they're concerned that he's a Jew hater, I think is what they said. And I don't think that's true or fair. I don't think he hates Jews. And even if he did, he can't hate Jews more than most Jews hate themselves. They were also complaining about his proposal to make city buses free. And I was like, I actually thought city buses were already free. That's how white I am. I'm like, people pay money for this? This is crazy. I take Ubers. I've never seen anyone pay for a bus. I've never paid for a bus. And yeah, I'm from the suburbs. Who takes a bus? That's crazy. But I am really glad that the election is over. We're sort of in between, because I was really getting tired of all of the texts from Democrats. I don't know what lists I'm on, but I was getting like 10 texts a day. And now I'm starting to get them again, just asking for money. It's like, please, we're begging you, give us $10 to defeat Donald Trump's MAGA agenda. And I'm like, I don't know, are you reading the same news that I am? Like, I don't think $10 is gonna do it. I just don't, You gotta ask for 20 at least. I mean, not that I'm gonna give you $20. I mean, I have expenses, but $10, forget it. I also recently went to see my mom. She's 85. She lives in the DMV. Thank you. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. She's not happy. She's not happy. She doesn't. Yeah. Nothing's good. Nothing's good. I don't know. She's still complaining to me about Roe versus Wade being overturned. And I'm like, Mom, I really think the chances of you having an unwanted pregnancy at this time in your life, it's remote, don't you think? But my mom has always been a big supporter of women's reproductive rights. When I was in high school, she would always say to me, Pamela, don't worry. If you get pregnant, you can have an abortion. And I always thought that was so weird, because in high school, I was very nerdy, and I never had boyfriends. And also at that time, I only did anal. My dad passed away this past year, so that's been really tough. And he was a great dad, and he was really funny. He didn't always intend to be funny, but he was. One time when I visited the year before he died, he was converting his porno collection. He had a lot of porno tapes, and he was converting them from VHS to DVDs. You can't make this stuff up. And I was like, Dad, why are you doing this? And he was like, I don't want to lose this stuff. I have all the classics. I don't know what constitutes a classic when it comes to porno movies, but after he died, my brother and I, we went through the movies. So I'll give you some of the titles. You can tell me if you think they're classics or not. He had The Night of Giving Head. So that's kind of like, I guess, a zombie theme. Saturday Night Beaver. It's more au natural. Or disco, I don't know. The Tale of Two Titties. I think that one might be a classic. You know, it was the best of porn and also the worst of porn. Lord of the Cock Rings, which is, of course, a trilogy. Schindler's Fist. I know, it always gets that reaction. It's aggressive, don't you think? It's aggressive. And talk about Jew hating. Ugh. It's like a whole different kind of Holocaust. I don't know. And in honor of MLK Week, I think my favorite is White Men Can't Hump, which, while true, is a bit racist, I think. So my dad must have spent hours converting all of this stuff, and I was like, you know, Dad, I think you can get all of these movies free on the internet now. And he was like, what? You're kidding. And then he died. This has been so much fun, guys. Thank you so much.